Are you leasing that hardware or are you buying it?
Oh, no, I bought this hardware. Why are we leasing it? Look at these controllers, guys. Yeah. My GameCube controllers on my Switch. Kind of stands. I feel sad. Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of A to Z by
SRG.
There we are. Nice. What are we on? Episode 8 now?
Yeah, episode 8.
Or is it 9?
Could be 9, could be 8, one of the two.
I think we're on episode 8, but all good. What are we talking about today?
Well, I've read an interesting article that I would like to share with you. So,
I like articles. He's got his phone again.
So, it's an article on IGN. Steam now warns customers they are buying a license, not a game, before they continue to payment. So, let me break this down to you a little bit. So, a law, AB 2426, was signed in California by Gavin Newsom. I just want to give some background thing, right? Steam now includes an upfront warning to customers that they're buying a license, not a game, ahead of California law going to effect in 2025.
Look, we know this anyway.
Yeah.
I think everyone who watches these videos and is part of the gaming community, we know this, that this has always been the case. This is the problem with modern gaming, that you're not buying a game, you're leasing it.
Yeah.
You don't own the software. And that is such a big problem, in that you buy a game, it might go offline. It's like, hi, thanks very much for renting my game from me. I'm going to switch the servers off at some point, but I'm going to keep your money.
Yeah. And going back to the latter games, the one game that I really liked playing on the Xbox, because I don't have an Xbox, right, is Horizon.
This is my Borg cube. That you can't see it properly behind there, but these things are heavy. It's actually made up like a Borg cube. Love this thing.
It is awesome. But was it Horizon 4 that you had?
Forza Horizon 4 and Forza Horizon 5.
I think it was 4 that I used to play quite a bit, and I really enjoyed it. I like the open world thing, reminding me of like old Need for Speed
the open world
games.
is so good on that. I love it. Just driving around, meeting other people is great.
Yeah, and then I read an article that it's now offline, and I was like, what do you mean? And then you said to me...
The music, they lost a license to all the music, didn't they?
Oh, okay.
So, yeah.
Kind of the reason why I like the game as well, because the music was banging.
But this is the problem. Licensing changes. Laws change.
Yeah.
You have to have an online connection for it to work properly, which means that you're forced to purchase an online subscription. Even if you buy the physical disc, okay, fine, you own the disc, but in order for it to run as a complete game, you need an online connection. And if they lose the license for the elements that you're streaming, that bit goes offline as well.
So essentially the CD or the disc is just got the data on it, the data is dumped on your hard drive and...
Well, standard, right? That's how it's always been. What I'm saying is that you need an online connection for it to run correctly. And if you don't have that online connection for the elements that it downloads, those elements will not be there. Now, if it's running off a server and that server is going to go offline in 2027, that game's gone then.
Yeah.
So I love the Division games, Division 1 and Division 2. They're fantastic. Brilliant games. But there's elements of that game that requires an online connection. So you can't play it if you don't have an online connection.
Yeah.
Now, ironically, I've had this Xbox Series X for a while. I have had the Game Pass membership. I've had the Xbox Live membership as well. Right now it's all offline because I don't have time to play it, unfortunately. That's why I stick to this. And I've got my discs cartridges that go into this, and I get to run it, and that's great. But even with this, I require an online subscription to play with you, Broforce, online.
Yeah.
So we know this. So the licensing argument has been around for a while. Music licensing, as an example. Spotify will lose licenses in some instances. Apple will lose licenses for Apple, was it iTunes? Yeah. And that song suddenly disappears. But you paid for it, but you don't get your money back.
Yeah. It's... The more and more we talk about it, it makes me upset, because it's what's it going to be like then in... Again, we're going back to the same question. What's it going to be like in 20 years' time? You know, what's it going to be like in 20 years' time?
About, isn't it?
So what will retro... So again, it goes back to the question, what will retro gaming be like in 20 years' time? But also, if they're going to go down this route, how are they going to stop... Hold on, just had a thought. If you buy a game for the Switch 2, Broforce 2, you buy the cartridge, you lend it to me, can I still play it then? Or
well, technically, yes.
So yeah,
technically. But at some point, something will change within that as well. And this is a little bit of a conspiracy theory, a little bit of prediction. I read this online, basically, so thank you for bringing this up. Right now, the cartridge, I can take this cartridge out right now, okay? It's not registered to anything in any way, shape, or form. I can give this to you and be like, okay, you know what?
Thanks, man.
You can borrow it for a week, give it back to me, and thank you very much.
Thanks for that.
And we're all good. He can play it, I can play it. But we already know that at some point, this will have to be registered to my account. So for this to run, I have to have an account with Nintendo.
Right.
Registered to my account. It'll be logged somewhere in a server somewhere that this cartridge number is logged to this account number. So if I hand this back to you and be like, right, you can go play it, you're not going to be able to play it because it's not logged to your account. Conspiracy theory, but I think that's the evolution of this.
Then what's the point of these?
It's pointless then at that point, isn't it?
No, that's...
Conspiracy theory, total conspiracy theory, just saying. But I think that's where we're going.
That's incredible. I mean, how can... I'm baffled. I really am baffled. So the whole thing about...
Baffled by my conspiracy theory.
Well, with the way gaming is going right about now, with everything going online and digital copies, etc., it's something that I can actually see happening.
Of course.
They want to tie everything down so it does... So you can't do that. So, again, back in the day, we were able to swap cartridges, Super Nintendo games, PlayStation 1 games, whatever games that we wanted to do. The fact that we can't do that then is that means the second-hand market is going to be affected. And
well, the second-hand market is dying already, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, if this goes the way, if the conspiracy theory comes through, it's just basically dead in the water now.
Of course.
I mean, it's dying. If that happens, it's dead. It's nothing.
So Nintendo, Sega. I don't know why I keep saying Nintendo and Sega. Maybe it's from my childhood. But all the gaming companies out there, they don't want the second-hand market to live.
Yeah.
Because they want you to buy new games. They want you to buy the remastered games of old games. So in our Instagram Live that we did, we were ranting on about how remastered games are ruining gaming. The gaming industry.
Yeah.
Ingenuity is going, creativity lacks, which is also one of the reasons why I personally think this current generation of consoles are not that good, because the creativity is not there. It's a lot of, we'll just remaster stuff, and that's fine. I get it. I understand that. It's all good. For new gamers, that works.
Yeah.
But for people who are perhaps 30 plus, in my case, 45 plus, don't laugh.
I'm not.
Always laughing at me.
Oh man, you always make me smile.
Shall we do the breathe in bit?
That's, I'm breathing in right now.
It becomes, okay, how many times have I bought this game? How many times do I have to play the same game with uprated graphics, uprated sound, and you get stuck in this world? I've got a question for you.
Okay.
Can you imagine in 50 years' time, when I'll be 96, what will gaming conventions be like?
Will there be any gaming conventions?
I think there will, yes.
So, which consoles will they show? If a Super Nintendo is able to be dusted off and put on display behind a glass cabinets, then yes.
But what about the modern gaming? The gaming of today.
I think it will be.
So this device, right? Say for example, we take this device, or the next version of the Xbox, whatever that will be, or the next version of PlayStation, whatever that will be. It's the Switch 2. It's 2024, by the way, guys. December. It's November, not December. It's November. Switch 2 was, everyone's talking about Switch 2 at the moment. I think the conventions in 50 years' time, the gaming events in 50 years' time, will actually feature these consoles. These exact consoles will be there.
So it wouldn't differ to what we see today.
I don't think so, because how can you take a game that is completely online, that is licensed? How can you run a convention, a gaming event that has to connect to a server that isn't live anymore in order for that to run? So you're actually, I think gaming events and conventions reached a peak, and I think they're going to stay at that peak. I don't think they can go any further, because if you don't have the hardware and the software, what are you going to do with it? You can't. You're then stuck.
So retro gaming, like you're saying, 20, 30 years time, is still going to be the same, and let's just hope that the hardware can stand the test of time, so it can be available to even my daughter, even trying to get her involved into gaming, and even her next generation. So we can only hope.
So your grandchildren,
Yeah.
when Avi hopefully has kids one day, your grandchildren, they what will their retro gaming be like? So if you're sitting there, Granddad Andy is sitting there in his rocking chair.
Hugh Gray still looking good. Yeah, I know.
You know, and I'm on the phone trying to figure out how to call you because I won't know how to contact you at that point. What would gaming look like when you're sitting with your grandchildren? What do you imagine?
There'll be a lot of, I think a lot of AI. AI will definitely come into the question. That's the argument, shall I say?
But no, I'm talking about you physically sitting there with your grandchildren. So
I can't even think.
you'll be 80 years old for argument's sake. So a good 40 years away. Your grandchildren maybe be in their 20s for argument's sake. And what do you imagine it to be? I don't have kids, so I can't say. But I'm sure you've thought about this in some way, shape or form.
With everything going, well, as of today, everything is streaming. So I can't see anything past that except it will just evolve into other available platforms and you can use any other device. What those devices look like, I don't know. Again, we spoke about it before about when I mentioned phones, and like you said, phones may never even be around in 20-30 years time. Phones could die off. It'll have some sort of streaming platform, and I've got a feeling it'll be quite a lazy kind of generation because everything's just going to be available there, rather than what we know is today.
So for me, if I have kids and I'm 95,
name one after me, right?
Exactly. I still imagine sitting there playing with them on an old TV. My Nintendo SNES connected up to it, plugging in the cartridge and playing with them. Because I'd want them to experience the way I played games when I was perhaps their age or younger. So we're laughing at now.
No, I just reminded me, when you said that, it reminded me of that video of
we got very serious, by the way.
No, sorry. The video of the dad, I think he was playing Call of Duty with his son, and he put on GoldenEye. He was like, "Oh yeah, oh you ain't nothing else." Yeah. It got very real after that. Yeah.
To me, that's what I would want, personally, if I have kids one day. But until then, I think the current situation of the law changing, where Steam has to say, "Look, guys, if you're going to take this game, you're going to have to give it back to us at some point. You can borrow it for a while. I'm going to charge you to borrow it. If I lend this to you, if you only got it for a short amount of time, you're leasing it from me.
Yeah.
That's it. It's cost you £5. Now, that's ridiculous if you think about it.
Yeah.
It's ruined the market completely. But hey, look, we have to evolve, we have to change, we have to keep moving forward. And if that's the way the industry's going, that's what we have to do as well. So it is what it is.
It is what it is. But it's a conversation that I'm glad we're having because I think it's one that needs to be brought to the forefront, especially in the gaming community. Do you want to talk about your new...
This is not new. I've had it for a while.
So what haven't I played on?
There you go.
Alright, cool. Well, I'm going to play this real quick and we'll see you on the next one.
You enjoy that.
Thank you.
Guys, you look after yourselves. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys soon. Andy, thanks for the chat.
No worries.
Take care, guys. Bye-bye.
See you later, guys.